This is a journey that starts in New Delhi and ends in Bangkok. Over 4,000 kilometers on the AH1, a highway first of its kind. They set off on their travels from Nexa in New Delhi, geared with their S-Cross, hopeful, excited and charged. But their journey truly began when they came together on the banks of the Ganga.
Varanasi being the first major stop on our journey, it was a good chance for everyone to get to know each other. That was our first big campsite as well, so we all sat around each other and got to know each other.
I'm just happy with a bunch of people here.
You thought we were going to be really annoying, didn't you?
One of the biggest hassles of any road trip is having someone who doesn't like a road trip. So it's a good start that the whole idea about everyone wanting to explore is there. We all want to see new places. We all want these new adventures and experiences.
I want to explore food in the northeast. I've never been to Jorhat, I've never been to Manipur, never been to Nagaland, so I'm very excited. In fact, Nagaland is supposed to be like a dream destination for me. And I've heard that there's a possibility we might meet the monks in Myanmar and I get to know what they eat.
The main thing for me is to just photograph all the places that we're going to go without having a client yell, can you come take it from this angle, or can you edit this, or can you liquefy this, or where I can just follow the light or go to places where I want to, that look interesting, and I'm sure we're going to find along the way and shoot what I want, which is something I haven't done in a while.
To be honest, I haven't really researched much about all the places that we're going on purpose because I kind of wanted to be surprised and just kind of not have any expectations and go with an open mind and a fresh mind, just to kind of absorb everything that we're going to see.
Ever since I've moved to India from Australia, Bombay became a bit of a bubble for me. The reason that I moved to this country was to explore the country as a whole.
Another big pull for me was the fact that we will be crossing borders physically in a car. I remember doing this in Europe and it's like, it's so easy. You know, why can't we do it in India? Because we've got such a beautiful country, such beautiful neighboring countries. So it's a big pull for me as well, you know, to be able to do that because I've never done that. I mean, I've visited these countries, but I've never actually driven across. So that'd be a good feeling. And we should still be friends at the end of it.
और सुनियो रे ये एक कहानी, एक साधु था और था थोड़ा सा पानी, उसकी ही मोह में बीती जवानी, सारी दुनिया उस बूढ़े की दीवानी, इसे पाकर नहीं है खोना, ऐसा साधु कभी न होना, जो पानी को कर दे सोना, सुनो ना। साधु सबका दादू, शीशी से निकला काला जादू, बूढ़ा साधु सबका दादू, अमृत है ये अब तो मान जा तू, अमृत है ये अब तो मान जा तू, अमृत है ये अब तो मान जा। Thank you!
That was actually incredible.
Chalo, chalo, Kunal, now you join Nadli's team, you don't need me anymore.
Right?
Thank you.
Obviously in the studio, everyone's there to take photos, and so nobody's going to be really surprised when you stick a camera in their face. But walking along the banks of the Varanasi, when I came across this sadhu with his trishul, I was immediately attracted and went up and started taking photographs quite close to him. And he took offense immediately to that because I was just way too close and in his personal space, and that didn't end very well. Look what I'm getting.
You're saying that's
What do you
nice.
think? 1 second. Can I just take this and... Okay, that's okay. So can you give me one profile shot? Just look, just turn your head a little.
सोचिए आप कि आप बीच में बैठे हैं, okay?
Beach?
Yeah. So समंदर की ताजा लहरें आप तक पहुंच रही है, कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं आप? अच्छा लग रहा है? सोचिए बस.
Hey, क्या कर रहे हो तुम? परमिशन लिया तुमने?
Just look at this photo.
छोड़ कैमरा.
Hey,
छोड़ कैमरा.
take my camera.
छोड़ कैमरा.
What is the problem?
ए छोटू, अपना काम करना.
भैया!
कहाँ का भैया, हम डरते हैं क्या? बुलाओ अपने भैया को.
So a very, very important lesson that I learned that day was not to invade people's private space and to take consent from people on the street before you go in and start photographing. I think consent and respect for people's personal space was one of the biggest differences I found from shooting in a studio to shooting on the road. And just like that on the AH1, I've learned many other lessons with Nexa journeys.
When I first heard from Nexa Journeys and heard that we were going to be going from Delhi all the way to Bangkok, it was basically a no-brainer for me to say yes, because it was one of my burning passions to explore Northeast India and Myanmar especially, because I had this goal this year that I really wanted to kind of expose and explore more of Northeast music and learn more about Myanmar, because I feel like it's a place that I'm not so aware of, musically especially and culturally. When a lot of people look at me, many times there's different reactions. There's a bit of awe, there's a bit of confusion, there's a bit of curiosity. I'm what many people would probably call a cross-cultural collaborator. And sometimes these collaborations are what really change a nation and change the people and the land. And one of those things that I realized on the AH1 was tea. If you go around the world and you ask people one thing about India, many people will say chai. Everyone in India, if you ask them, chai kidhar se hai, they're all gonna say it's from India, myself included. I assume that. And after sitting with Mr. Sarma, it was really fascinating to see the success of this collaboration. This is actually incredible.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Sai tea.
This is real Assam tea, right?
Assam tea.
But I heard that tea really only started once the British came.
Oh, yes. This community in Apara Samsingpo, they found these tea plants have been growing in the wild in abundance.
Right.
Then an ex-army personnel called Robert Bruce. This gentleman appeared in the scene 1823 and he could make out that this is tea. And it was taken so well in London that Assam tea found to be having much more character than the China teas.
Wow. There's just so much that has happened while they were here, from tea and just from, I think, architecture and music as well.
I believe you are a good singer.
I sing, yes.
You are? And
I love singing and learning about different languages and cultures.
it appears that you are also becoming like tea to represent a cross-cultural situation.
That would be really wonderful.
In tea plantation, this walking community, they have some fabulous native songs and tune. Maybe I'll be able to play a number for you.
You have here?
Yes, yes.
I would really love to hear it. Mr. Sarma played me a song on the gramophone, and it's a song that the tea leaf pluckers sing to in order to kind of be more efficient when they're plucking and keep the rhythm going. So this is kind of like an old school way of an assembly line, but with music. So I found that really cool, and I was kind of very insistent that I wanted to go in the tea leaf gardens with these ladies and sing it and see how that worked. On this journey, I think we've all experienced that, myself and everyone else on the journey, that whether they understood it or not, music has this amazing energy and vibration that transcends to people and makes you just feel very at peace. I feel like the Northeast is like a different country. And I don't want to be like politically, incorrect here or anything like that, but it's just so unique in its culture and so undiscovered still, which for me I found really exciting because there's just still so much to see and explore, and the people are so kind and they're also very excited to show you. Especially after going on the Brahmaputra and just that whole region, I just found it so fascinating because I couldn't imagine that this was a part of India, and after kind of spending quite a few years here, I had no idea that this whole other kind of layer existed. When we reached Moreh and crossed the border into Myanmar, that was also a really big moment because it seemed like a far dream, and because I've never heard of anyone crossing the border before from India into Myanmar. Yeah, it was a bit of like a panic and excitement at the same time that we actually reached that far.
Myanmar, for me, is strikingly beautiful. Every time I think of Myanmar, I think of the sunrise that I saw in Bagan, which does not leave. It looks like you're in a world which is backdated, which might not sound exciting, but when you see it, you kind of get lost in it. So I'm sure everybody understands the concept of Bhiksha. It's not alien to India, but we don't practice it anymore the way they still religiously practice it in Myanmar. You understand that food is still a very simple form of humanity. If you look at the interaction between these people, they're just exchanging food, and that bonds these people together, the community and the bunks. One of the nicest parts of that morning was that the monks came back with me in my S-Cross to the monastery, and I got to go to their kitchen. I was feeling a little more confident and cook a nice meal for monks because they are not restrictive to any kind of meat. They are accepting of whatever you cook for them. I kind of felt satisfied to be able to have cooked for them and then served them. So I was anxious while I was feeding the head bunk especially. This is that one opportunity you get in your lifetime where you get to cook food for people from where you get blessings and you get positivity out of. So I just wanted to feel happy, and I think before I felt happy, I had to feel anxious. I felt that I could connect with people around me in a different light. Because I didn't have this fear of my food failing anymore. That need of being accepted by everybody is suddenly gone.
Thailand ended up being the perfect end to this journey for me. We were a little far away from Bangkok in a place called Khao Yai National Park, where I had an experience which was a real culmination of the journey for me. I came across a troupe of shadow puppeteers, and I was just amazed at this form of movement and the fact that this style of storytelling had just been disseminated across Thailand for so many years now. As I watched the puppeteers perform this story on stage, I was struck by an idea, and so I crept behind the stage to speak to the artists. and I'm really looking forward to collaborating with you and creating some art with you that's about movement and about dance. So I've written a short folk story about a kingdom and a king and travelers, because I'm on a quest right now through my journey with my fellow travelers, so I thought it was very apt to write about it through folklore. And I think that maybe it would be very interesting to enact this with your puppets and a little bit of my dance. So with your permission, it would be amazing to read this story to you and perhaps see what we could make together with it.
ที่ดินเด่น
ค่ะ
ส่วนมากก็แสดงเรื่องรามเกียรติ์
อ๋อ รามเกียรติ์ค่ะ แล้วตัวแสดงมีอะไรบ้างอะคะ
ตัวแสดงก็มีพระลักษณ์พระราม แล้วก็ทศกัณฐ์หนุมาน
He said that for this it's like we have like
the story that they described sounded very familiar. For me, it was derived from the Ramayana. And then he spoke of these two men who were both lusting over one woman, and one man is the good guy and one is the big giant evil guy. And I was just so delighted that I was sitting in Thailand listening to a Thai man tell me about the Ramayana. And it just shows how all of our cultures really are connected.
พูดเลยเปล่า
ค่ะ พูดเลยค่ะ
การแสดงมันก็เหมือนกันถ้าหากว่าเป็นการใช้เงาใช่ไหม
Very nice to hear that from you. That that he never heard that.
I was absolutely delighted that the artists were open to collaborating with me. I wrote a story, I practiced my moves, I prayed to the gods, and I was just ready for a performance that would be the culmination of my journey thus far.
So when I tell this story that has been written about the king and his son, I plan to use mudras to describe the journey that this son goes through when he meets different animals in the forest, when he crosses a river and crosses a vast expanse of land and crosses the sky, goes underneath the sky and the sun.
The story that I wrote was about a king and his son, and the king sends his son through the forest to overcome certain challenges, and it just made sense because we were on a journey and this is the end of the journey now, and there were so many obstacles that we faced along the way. So for me it was a real culmination of everything I'd done in the last few weeks. It is so hard to describe in words what this journey meant to me. I was so lucky to travel by road across 3 countries with wonderful people, but more than anything, exploring cultures that I would never have been able to explore in this way. I'm very grateful because I was able to grow closer to my beloved art form.
This Nexa journey is out of the ordinary. It isn't touristy and we are visiting places that are not on the usual bucket list of many. So I have collected a lot of videos and pictures for my son to see what happened during all those days that I was away from home. He may or may not get a chance to experience all these places firsthand when he grows up, but at least he will know about them. Hi Rio, how are you?
I'm good, Dad. How are you?
I'm good. Did you see the videos I sent you?
Yes, Dad.
So you like them?
No, Dad. They were too boring.
Boring? Why were they boring?
Dad, I like racing. There was nothing like that.
No, Baba. This is not about racing. Road trips is about the journey. You'd like to come on a road trip with me, right?
No, Dad. I want to go to Disneyland.
Disneyland? Yeah, we'll go to Disneyland, but let's go on a road trip together.
No, Dad. First I want to go to Disneyland and then wherever you want to take me.
Okay, Rio. See ya.
Hey, Girish. Are you talking to Rio? Did he like the videos?
Not really, I think.
Why? How come? Okay, anyways, we have one player short over there. You want to come join us?
Oh yeah, I'm not in the mood. Cars and automobiles are everything to me. They have made my life. I was hoping my son would understand and appreciate this through the videos I sent him. I guess he may be too young now, but somewhere down the line he can also understand and value these things a lot.
जाने राहों पर है चल पड़े, अरमानों को बाहों में ले भरे, पर फिक्र नहीं मुझे तू जो साथ है, लापता भी हो जाएगा तो क्या बात है.
I think my biggest takeaway from this trip was to experience the drive with people from such different professions. That's quite unique. We ended up experiencing different facets of the culture everywhere we went.
फिक्र नहीं मुझे तू जो साथ है.
I realized that, you know what, I just have to kind of take it easy.
तो क्या बात है.
I have to believe in my art, believe in my craft, which is being a chef, and stand true to it.
तो क्या बात है.
This entire Nexa journey kind of feels like a dream. In the midst of all these incredible experiences, if you don't have people to share them with, they don't mean nearly as much. And I feel very blessed that I've been able to make so many wonderful friends on this trip.
Before I went on this trip, made these friends and drove this car, I could say that I almost had a normal 9-to-5 job, and I always put work before me. The Nexa journeys has kind of strengthened my belief that I need to invest more time in myself, and I'm hoping I can do a lot of it more in the future.
But come ye back when trouble's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and wide.
I'm so grateful for having gone on this journey, for all that I've learnt, for the experiences that I've had, and for the fact that more than anything, at the end of this journey, I really felt truly free.